Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Experience, and we got a little something special today. We're going to do a little bit of trot down the Whiskey Row. Got Dad back on the show. Yep, and Alex is back in for this is your third one, isn't it?
Yeah,
third gig. Yeah. So what we want to do here is we've done this once before with just basically their basic Whiskey Row. So in Ohio, they put a 3-pack together. It was the 1897, the 1910, and the 1920, and this is all the Old Forester. And what we decided was, and that was like back in June, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that wasn't a video.
We didn't do it. I'm just saying we just all did it together, and we came up with some results. We'll save that for later. But this time we decided, let's do it again since the palates have been a little bit more in tune, if you want to say, hopefully, maybe. Yeah, right. But let's also add the 1870 in that because 1870 is just a wonderful, wonderful bourbon. So we're going to do a little walk down Whiskey Row with Old Forester. So that's what we got. So first one will be the 1870, the original batch. And this made it through to our next round in our blinds. Our blinds.
It did.
So all of them have a very ambery color.
The color is it's dark. This is probably the lightest color out of all of them.
Yeah, I know.
But it's still...
And the aroma coming from all of these glasses is just choice.
And the legs go on.
So this 1870, this is the original batch. This is their 90 proof. Just so we go through, just so we have a good idea of some costs, since these are a little bit more. The 1870 is yours. How much was that? I remember.
High 45 to 50.
Okay. So, and I think we get to 1897, it's about the same, and then 1910 gets a little higher, and then 1920 is the
62.
Yeah, I think it's like right around there.
Yeah, the 1910 was about $55-$60.
Yeah, that's.
I think
right.
The 1897 is actually low 50s.
Yeah.
It's got all those classic bourbon notes to it that you want. The caramel, brown sugar, but it's smooth. It's nice. Mm-hmm. Nothing's quite jumping out though.
Yeah. One thing I will note about the Whiskey Row series is they end up drinking hotter than their proofing.
Yeah, so I agree with that.
This is 90 proof. It drinks
like
a little
like
warmer.
100. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, well, should we go to 1897?
You're getting just a lot more developed flavors out of this.
The aroma is, despite the fact that it's 10 proof fire, it smells less hot than the 90, than the 1870.
I'm getting a lot more bourbony flavor smells out of the 1870 right now. Go back and sniff it. Get a little bit more of a sweeter.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to do it because I was thirsty.
I don't blame you one bit.
The 1897 is a mellower taste than the 1870.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
I agree with you. The 1870 is a little bit more. It has a rougher flavor to it, but the bottle and bond, I think that's about as smooth of a bottle of bond that you can have, and the flavors that I get out of that are just like I get a lot of like a cooked banana flavor out of that.
Yeah, there's a deeper flavor in there.
Okay, I get that banana. The 90 proof, the 1870, is almost more stringent to the taste to it. It's like here are the same flavors, but I'm going to show you that we also have the alcohol in there to back it up.
Yeah.
The 1897 kind of says the ethanol's there, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But we're really trying to sell you on what we're making.
Yeah. Great story, Lenny.
Yeah, it's smoother. It's a smoother. But I guess what I'm saying is the 1870, the aroma is better than the 1897.
I don't know. I get.
You don't get that?
Yeah. I just think the 1870s is the good starter, and then the 1897 comes in and says here's the backbone that is a lot more developed than the 1870.
Yeah.
and it coats better. It warms better.
Yeah.
It's just.
I think all of us so far are saying that 1897 over the 1870.
Yeah.
But I think what you were saying is you were just fighting for the 1870 over the 1897.
No, I'm not fighting for it. I'm just saying that the overall aroma is just the 1870. I find more pleasing than the 1897.
Okay.
The taste, from the 1897. Yeah, it's so much more smoother.
So I'd be interested to know if the mash bill is the same with all of them.
Yeah, and according to what I just looked up through the magic of editing, the mash bill is the same across the board. It's 78 corn, 18 rye, and 10 barley. Yeah, and they don't put age statements on these because they say that the whiskey's ready when it's ready. So if it's ready at 3 years, it's what they put in the bottle.
All right, well then let's take a jab at the 1910 then. Let's give this a go.
So this is my bottle that I have at home. From what I've just had, this one drinks a lot hotter. So I'm gonna go on a limb beforehand and say that 1897 is gonna beat it for me.
For you.
But I'm gonna give it.
We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. This now, I don't see a whole lot of legs, but that rim is like holding on like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really so. It's
a garter.
Tired of being admired.
Well, there you go. So the garters are holding on. Oh my gosh.
That garter's cutting off circulation.
Yeah, right? Jeez.
You know that we have to now, every time that we don't see the legs right off the bat, it's got to be garters.
It's got to be the garters. It's got to be the garters.
You know? I'm finding the 1910 very competitive with the 1897 as far as
there's
drinking them back to back is very different from what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So 1910, I think, is almost what I thought it was from 6 or 7 months ago when we were at your place.
It's just got nice notes of vanilla and with the syrup.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because I'm drinking with you guys or
we're hella people.
I don't know if it's if I'm drinking with you guys.
Yeah, right.
So forget this guy.
or what the deal is. It's tasting better than it normally does.
Nathan and I did the tasting. I think it was a couple weeks ago. The bottle and bond with the 100, the bottle and bond blew it away.
Killed it.
It wasn't even close.
And the 100's really good.
And the 100 made it.
The 100, when I first tried it, the immediate nose on that one sent me right back to the first time Josh and I walked into Jacob's Field.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it just blew me away. I never had that type of.
That dusty peanut, it's following, because you were talking about this one being the better nose, and every time I was going back to it, I was getting that dusty peanut.
Yeah.
But now that I'm at the 1910, I'm getting the dusty peanut but not with the.
I don't know if I've ever really thought about or pulled that, and I think I get
It's just
it.
opening that bag at Jacob's Field and going, oh hey.
Yeah. And that is Jacob's Field.
And I think you'll get that more with the 86 and the 100. I'm not getting it out of 1910 for sure.
Well, let's go for the 1920 then, and then we can start. Then we can start picking what our favorite is.
Yeah, which was weird because when we were having this last week, that was the first time that I didn't feel the 1920 didn't blow my palate out.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Me either. I mean, just now, it's smoother than I remember.
Well, here's the thing about 1920. It's very smooth on the front end, even in the middle end, and then right at the very end, it gets you, like right in the back of the tongue.
Sort of like Valentine's Day Massacre.
What?
It's Prohibition style. So therefore, we're talking. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, just like. So he thought about that one on Wednesday, so he can bring it in. So, team.
Yes.
Team.
Part of a team.
Team, yeah. But the thing about the 1920 that's difficult is at the very back end, it's like, oh, geez, all of a sudden you had 115. But up to that point, it does not taste like 115.
No.
And The nice part about that is you're pulling those flavors early on.
Yeah.
And the flavors hit you. And that's what's really nice about that bottle. That 7 months ago, 6 months ago, whenever it was we were at your place, I couldn't pull from. I wasn't able to do that. And now I'm able to go, man, there's some wonderful, nice flavors.
Yeah, this one out of all of them really comes through with that kind of cooked candied banana type of.
Banana Fosters.
Yeah.
What's interesting is the 1870 played hot. The 115 until the very, the 1920 at the very end, it didn't play like a 115 proof.
Yeah.
And so I find that really interesting comparison.
Well, and like for me, I basically tend to start at 100 and go up and give me whatever you got. The 115s doesn't bother me. When you're talking about below 100, they tend to not favor those, except in rare occasions like double oaked.
Yes.
So, but with these two, the 90 and the 93,
that's what I'm getting at.
The flavor profiles in there keep those in play with the rest of the 100 pluses out there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, this Whiskey Row series, as a series, is kind of really creme de la creme type of bourbon offerings.
Yeah.
So as we're going through and ranking these, I actually want to know from each of us favorite nose, favorite taste, favorite finish.
Oh, geez.
What do you say we throw a curveball?
So we're going to complicate this stuff up.
Okay. So let's talk about the favorite nose.
Okay, let's go to nose first. Okay, so aroma-wise, I'm going to go 1920, 1910, 1897, 1870. And I was just talking about how much I really didn't like the 1870. But it was interesting that it changed after, but 1920 is for me.
So you went in order of the bottle?
I did. I might go back and double check the 1897, 1870, but.
Now for me, the 1897 hit on aroma.
That's your favorite?
That would be my favorite. The 1920, I smelled more heat.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
really?
the process.
I did too.
And so I dropped back to the bottle.
This is tough. This is
and
not
I may
easy.
sound like a broken record.
Okay, so 1897 has a vote and 1920 has a vote.
So it's just weird because, like we've talked about, the mash bill's the same, so it's just hard to pick. We're talking about such small differences.
Really small difference.
Between we're talking like a 5% max difference between the smell and the taste of these.
And that's what I think that's what I, in my eminent wisdom, determined is that the smell was overcome by the
proof for you on
the proof. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's a fair play.
It is for me too. 1920 is not my number one on the smell. It starts off great, but then the nose hairs start to feel like they're burning a little. So nose wise for me, it's going to go the 1910, the 1897, the 1920, and the 1870 last.
That's my order.
So 1910 for you also.
Yep.
So the 1910 becomes the winner in the aroma, which I go back to that, and that doesn't surprise me at all. Okay, I can jump in. So if we're going to talk overall flavor, I'm going to go again 1920. It's going to be different than my finish. Oh, the 1920 overall flavor is really, to me, the creme de la creme right now. Finish. Right. So your vote for the overall flavor is what, 1897?
No.
Yeah? Okay.
Same for me.
How about that?
1897.
I didn't think, coming into today, I really didn't think that the flavor of this was going to beat out the rest of them because I'd been drinking it at home and kind of been not as impressed. But the 1910 is
How about that?
It's hitting it for me today. I still pick that. Then the 1897, 1920, then 1870.
Okay. So this is going to the winner of that one's 1897.
Oh, the flavor. Yeah, I got
okay.
it.
The winner of the
aroma.
The aroma was the 1910. So now the finish. Mm-hmm. All right. So what's your vote for the finish? Mine's 1910. The finish on 1910 is absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. It just it lingers. It's smooth. The 1920 cuts you off.
For the finish, 1920 hits last because you're right. It comes in with that alcohol hit right at the end, and it just kind of makes you go, "Oh yeah, my body's trying to say no."
Yep.
Then it would go the 1870.
Yeah.
So I think 1910 is my overall, then 1897 on finish.
Yeah, you're going the same, aren't you?
Yeah, 1897 second, 1920 third, 1870
So
on the last.
so 1910.
There is this lasting sweetness, desserty type of finish with the 1910 that just is awesome.
Yeah.
1920. You're right. That finish goes hot. 1897 has, in comparison to the 1910, a slight astringency with the finish that shortens it a little bit and didn't really come through as the winner. And so 1910 just on the finish
That's wonderful.
Takes the medal.
How about you?
I'd probably flip that, but then again, I wasn't focused on quite the detail that Nathan was.
Yeah. So you have 1897 as your winner.
That would probably be my
Okay.
winner.
So now what we've got is
That's a split finish, right?
no.
Or do we all go 1910?
1910 wins again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the winners again. So here we are. 1870 did not get any votes at all.
Right.
Yeah.
1920
Did not get it.
did not get any votes. 1897 got one of the votes for the flavor, right?
Yeah.
And then the 1910 got the nose and the finish. So there you go. I think I'm glad we did that because I think that's a really valuable.
So then the question is, does the nose and finish take it for the overall, or does the flavor really punch through on it?
And that is different for everybody. So now, what's your overall winner?
For me, the 1920 because that won 2 out of 3 for me. You, I'm assuming, is the 1897 because that was I think your vote for each one of those.
That was.
Okay.
I got to go with the 1897.
Ooh.
Stick with
That's
what I
your
would.
overall?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, Alex, how about you?
Yeah. So in my order, it's going to be 1910, 1897, 1920, 1870.
All right. Well, this was fun, very difficult, but I think what you can ascertain from all of this is that you can go get something Old Forester and you're going to be real happy about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot for Pop showing up and Alex showing up again. Excited to have him back. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
For all bourbondom.
For all bourbon. Have a good one. We'll catch you later. Thanks.
Yeah, it's got outtakes.
You'll never know what's coming at you when the 1920 gets a hold of you. Smell what the whiskey rose cooking.